Hey guys, get ready with me for a story time about how my boyfriend's family don't like me. So I was a sophomore in high school and it was the first day, right? So remind you, I'm with her for my first day and we're chilling and then we get a message from this boy. He said he wanna hang out with us, so he comes. We get to know him. We're not gonna tell him his name, but we get to know him. So everything's chilling, we're friends, we're getting to know him, and my homegirl's telling me that he wants me, that he wants to be with me.
I was friends with him.
And so, at first I was like, nah, I don't want to be with nobody right now, you know? And I didn't like him because of how he looked and shit and everything, but that doesn't matter, right? So I get to know him as a person, and I actually really did fuck with him. We had the same energy, the same vibe, the same everything. Until one time we're on the call and he tells me he has a girlfriend. So I'm like, oh, okay, like I respect that, like I'm not gonna be as close to you then. So he's all telling me, nah, like it's all good, like don't trip, like we're not even gonna be nothing like that. I still wanna talk to you. And I'm just like, nah, you don't really know how it goes from there, like no. So there was a day where we went to the carnival that our city was hosting, and I went with my friends and he went with his girlfriend. So his girlfriend caught him looking at me, and you already know how that goes, like, bitch, why are you looking at that girl? So she's tripping or whatever, and I don't know what the fuck happens, that the bitch starts crying. So she goes to her car and he's following her, running after her, saying like, I didn't do anything, whatever. So it was literally like, I kid you not, a week after the damn.
No.
So it was the week of the carnival, and it was a Friday night that we went. So I promise you, Monday morning, like, I get a call from him in the nighttime, and he's telling me, bro, this bitch just cheated on me. I don't know what, this and that, because she kissed some random ass guy.
No, not random, his op.
His op from a whole different hood. So whatever, I'm like, damn, you know what, like, that's crazy. She cheated on you, like, damn. So whatever, he's telling me like, you know what, he's trying to get at me and shit. So now that they broke up, it's been like, 3 or 4 weeks, and he's like done with the bitch, and he's trying to like find somebody else. So he's been trying to get at me for a while.
He was not trying to find somebody else. He wanted you.
Basically. So like we start talking or whatever, like we get in a talking stage, and this whole time like he introduces me to his family, but they're all looking at me weird as fuck. So I'm like, whoa, what's going on? And I didn't know this whole time he still had this bitch in the house. So I'm like, fuck. So he invites us to his birthday party at his house, and we both go. All his family's there, everybody, and the bitch is there. So I'm like, what the fuck? Remind you, we're dating already. We're already together. And he's already trying to introduce me to his family. I say hi to his mom and everything, but the sister, the cousins, they walk by me with a stank ass attitude, and I'm like,
all had stank.
Damn. So the energy was so off. Like I could tell.
And then, like it was not welcoming.
Yeah,
like, they don't want to stay.
We were not greeted or nothing. So I'm just standing there like, damn, So whatever, like time goes by and shit, and I'm finding out like they don't like me because they think that he cheated on her with me. Bitch, that didn't happen. Bitch, you know why you guys broke up? Because you went and kissed his op. Like, the fuck? And I stepped in as a real bitch because he wants somebody real and loyal like me. So, fast forward to a year in our relationship. The ex is still pulling up to his house. They're kicking it with the sister and shit. The sister and her, they're like besties. So, now they're like hanging out all the time, every day type shit. So, that I didn't let that... Yeah, I didn't let that shit get to me. And I was just always like, I'm winning at the end of the day because who's with him? Exactly. So yeah, at this point, the bitch is just delusional as fuck. She got a man already, and she's still pulling up to my boyfriend's house. Like, the fuck? You're weird. Like, you're weird. And then there was a time where, like, the family's treating me like shit. There was a time where his sister took us to the store, and the bitch took a picture of my ass and sent it to the ex. Like, the fuck? What was that supposed to be about? Because, bitch, I look thick as fuck. She was just doing grimy shit here and there. So a year later, bro, we're together for 3 years and this bitch is still on. So there's another carnival, and I go, and she has an older sister that's like grown. She's an adult with a baby and shit. I go to his house, and Like, it's after the carnival, we're waiting for somebody to open the door, and we see somebody pull up in the drive-thru, and I'm like, who is that? And I'm thinking it's his ex in the car, like, wanting to fade with me. So I'm like, all right, I'll wait right here. I'll wait right here in front of the steps. No. His fucking older sister comes out the car, and she comes up to me like, you want to talk shit about my little sister, da 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 da, and the mom too, and then she comes and she hits me. Bitch, you're grown. Bitch, you lucky I didn't send your ass back to Mexico. So whatever, they never heard my part of the story these whole 3 years. They still don't know my part of the story till this day. And they still don't like me to this day. But you know what? I gotta keep it, thug it out, because I'm here for him, because I love him at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? So if there's females out there that are going what I'm going through, and their family, like their boyfriend family, don't like you, bitch, don't worry about it. Like, for real, like, that shit hurt me at one point, because I'm a loving girl and I love family and shit, you know what I'm saying? But not everybody's gonna like you. So you just gotta keep that shit to yourself and keep going in life, because you're there for him and not his family. So it don't really matter like that, for real. And I got excited in the beginning of our relationship, because he low-key did hype it up a little bit. Like, my family's gonna like you. My sister's gonna be nice with you and I don't know what. Like, you guys like the same thing. You guys are gonna get along. And I'm just like, I was happy to hear that. I'm not gonna lie. I was super happy until I went to the party for his birthday and nobody said hi. So that's the story time. And I want you guys to let me know if I'm in the wrong. Because, bitch, I've been respected your relationship since the get-go. And now all of a sudden that I'm in it, you want to disturb mine? The fuck? Mm-mm. To this day, his family, his sister don't talk to me still. They don't like me or whatever. And I really don't give a fuck. I mean, I hope one day they get over it, you know? But if they don't, yeah, my bad, bitch. I try. The fuck? I try to be getting along with you guys, but no. But you know, karma goes around and it comes around. So thank you guys for watching this story time. Get ready with me. I have hella stories to give, so let me know if you guys want.
Hey guys, ignore the stain. It's hot sauce. But get ready with me for a bit while I tell y'all the story time on how I got cheated on. Me, cheated on. And this was the first time I got cheated on. I only got cheated on 2 times though. Hold on. Okay, y'all, so I had this man, and he was a basketball player. He's a pretty decent basketball player. And, yeah, so he was with his basketball team. And him and his basketball team sometimes went places, like to the mall. So when they went to the mall, he told me, like, oh, you should come to the mall with us, like, so we could be at the mall together. Now, me, at the time, I was at my best friend's house, so I'm like, oh, I can't, like, I would, but I can't, because I'm, like, at my best friend's house, and I'm not going to leave just to go to the mall with you, because that's my best friend. Okay, so, yeah, so he goes to the mall, and then, like, a day after that, you know, we all cool and stuff, but then the next day after that, tell me why he starts acting super weird. Like, he starts starting arguments with me for no reason. Like, stops texting first. Like, he acting really, really weird. And something told me, like, girl, you getting cheated on. But I didn't really realize that until his friend, we used to, like, all be on the phone and stuff, play the game, play Fortnite. So his friend, like, put us in the car together and stuff to play the game. And we got in a, like, call, and, like, me and him weren't talking like that because, like, we weren't on good terms. And then he kept on, like, hanging up and joining back. Like, he kept on hanging up and joining back, saying, hold on, like, somebody was calling him. Like, I was like, we ain't broken up yet. Like, we ain't broken up yet. We just not on good terms. So, who is calling you and blowing you up? So, that's when something told me, like, girl, he talking to somebody new. But see, he never cheated on nobody, never cheated on me. So I was trying not to think that, but something was telling me, you're getting cheated on. So, you know, I tried to ignore it. I'm not really thinking about it too much. Like, I'm just like, okay, we're on bad terms. I'm going to just not text first. Like, I'm not finna break no contact. Like, yeah. I used to stand on business. I don't know what happened because now I do not stand on business whatsoever. And I still talk to this boy. Okay, so, yeah, that happened. And y'all, tell me why one day our school does this thing called assembly. So we are in the same class. So we were sitting like sort of kind of next to each other. So then we got up and we were about to go to assembly, right? Y'all, he tells me to come here, and I kid you not, he says, I cheated on you. Like, what? Anyways, this video is getting way too long, and I'm doing my skincare routine. So if y'all want to find out my reaction and like all the stuff that happened after that, let me know, because I'll come through with a part 2. Bye, guys.
There's nothing more fake than a friend who like lurks on your social medias and does not comment anything on your account and just completely views all your stuff without saying anything. A lot of people can argue with me and be like, oh my god, it's just social media, why is it a big deal? But if you have that friend that's constantly posting on their story or constantly like posting anything in general, whatever you do post, they never comment, they're always the first one to view everything you post, they consider themselves like your friend, like I'm sorry, like I feel like there's like a certain type of boundary to this. I feel like when it comes to my friends posting on social media, I feel like I'm like extremely supportive when it comes to it. Social media is like the way I keep up with people. If my friend posts something on like Instagram or like Snapchat, of course I'm going to comment, of course I'm going to support, be like, oh my god, so pretty. That's my friend, like I'm going to support you. Like usually when it comes to Instagram stories, I am the first person to like mostly every single Instagram story. I don't know why I do this, but every time I see an Instagram story that I like, I will genuinely heart it. But I feel like the rules are different when someone's especially active on Instagram and they're actively posting. I'm going out of my way and commenting and liking all your posts, and you're not doing the same to me and you're just like absolutely lurking. I'm going to get like a bad vibe from it. I don't know, I feel like it's just different because I've been posting consecutively on TikTok, and like I've noticed who comments and who doesn't comment. Don't get me wrong, I don't expect you to comment on every single one of my posts, but like if you're active on social media and I'm hyping you up like mostly half the time, can't you do the same for me without mean girl energy? God, you know what the worst is too? Personally, what I think is the worst is when you post on your private story and then you have these lurkers who like don't interact with your private story. I have 2 private stories, so I have like a main one where I just post like mostly just like basic pictures for like 100 people to see. I also have my private, which I realize a lot of girls do, which has like 12 people. It's all girls. I call it future MILFs only. I've had it for like 3 years. My boyfriend is on my private story because like he doesn't even view Snapchat, so I just keep him on like my main story. The main point of my private is to post stuff so people can view it and also like interact with me, because they're mostly just like my 10 closest friends. Posting something, usually I'll like post an outfit or something and I'll be like, oh, is this cute? Like swipe up. You don't swipe up. I'm sorry. Like I just feel like that's freaking weird. Like I post it and like you're one of the first people to view it and you don't say anything, like crickets. Like that's awkward. And I don't even know if I'm making sense. It's literally like 7:30 in the morning right now and I'm exhausted. It really applies to like a certain extent of people, especially if you're just like active on social media. If not, like I wouldn't really like think too deep into this. It really just truly gives off mean girl energy. If you guys have
My school was so strict. I remember the time the principal gave my whole entire class in school suspension. Do y'all know what it takes for a whole class to get in school suspension? Or even just to get it alone is not good at all. But get ready with me for school story time and how my full entire class got in school suspension. Before we start the video, if this gets on your For You page, please comment For You page, because I try to notice and follow some people back who comment For You page. Please don't forget to comment For You page. Look at that shade match. Okay, so we had just came back from lunch and we were about to take our quiz or whatever. And this one girl who was not supposed to be in our class walks in and she was arguing with this one girl. Like they were talking at first because I guess she lost her water bottle and she blamed it on her. I don't know. But it kind of escalated a little bit and the one girl went outside and the other girl followed. I guess the one girl was trying to be mature about the situation, but the other girl had walked out. So, and then they started getting louder. So then that's when like 3 students ran outside and that's when the whole class was just like, oh, we're about to take this very important test. And our teacher is on maternity leave, so we have this substitute. At the time I didn't like him, but then I started to like him. So we were the first class who runs out and then the whole grade is in the hallway. Obviously nothing happens because my science teacher gets one of the girls and yeah, I mean like nothing happens. But here's the problem. We try and go back into the classroom and we notice that the door is locked. This dude would not let us in the class. We're literally banging on the door because half of the class is outside. After standing out there for a while, the ESL teacher comes and gets us. We're in the dean's office. He would not let us back in the class. But literally the whole grade was out there, so why are we the only ones being punished? It doesn't make sense. Being so for real, we were sitting in that room for like 2 hours straight because like we had absolutely nowhere to go. He comes back and he says that we're all going to get in school suspension, but on a different day. So for example, 10 kids would go per a day until we were all done. But the story does not end. So let me know if y'all want a part 2. If you stayed all the way to the end, comment down below a pink heart in the comments. Bye guys and have a great day. 500,000 followers is
This may be controversial, but there's no reason why a talking stage should be more than a month. And if you and that man have been in a talking stage for 3 months, it's time to stand up because he's making you look dumb. You can argue with whoever you want, but it's either he likes you or he doesn't. I don't know if it's a mix of me being impatient or hating talking stages because they're usually very repetitive. But if we're talking every day and we know literally everything about each other, time goes by and it's damn near 3 months, y'all either need to cuff or leave each other the hell alone. Let's wrap it up. Make up your mind. What y'all need to understand is that the main reason why a man is taking too long in a talking stage is because they want to keep their options open. They want to have as much options as possible and they want to talk to as much girls as possible. Like, ask yourself, do you really want to be the maybe to a guy that you probably have more money than, or a guy that's jobless and has no future? This especially applies if you guys were friends before y'all started talking. Like, y'all already know each other. You've been talking with this man for 5 months and you still get excited over that what do you do in text that he probably sent to like 5 other girls. Also, can we please change the talking stage etiquette? The what's your favorite color, the what are you doing, all of it is stale. I don't want to hear about none of that. I want to know about the time that you hopped through the window at a Wendy's drive-thru and socked the manager because they lied and said that the frosty machine was down. Let me really know who you are. We are finished. Deuces, deuces, and deuces.
Story time of the time my entire high school saw my boobs and a video of me in the shower that I had no idea existed. So that I do not get sued, I will be changing names from the story, but some of you weird fuckers who did this to me in high school follow me, so I hope that made your stomach drop. I do unfortunately have to give a trigger warning for child porn. If you understand what I'm saying, I was underage when this happened to me. This all started my 8th grade year at my first year ever in public school on New Year's Eve. I was with 4 of my closest girlfriends, but only one of them needs to really be talked about during this story. We are going to call her Ella. So the end of the night rolls around, we were all having a good time, and I go to take a shower, which I feel like is a pretty normal thing to do. So now we're gonna skip ahead a year to my freshman year of high school. Like I said, that was in 8th grade. This will make sense in a second. So it's my freshman year, it's right at the beginning of the school year. I'm pretty petrified, as I feel like most freshmen in high school are. I had just made like the varsity cheerleading team. I was trying to make friends. It was very overwhelming, like for that age. Cheer practice one day, it's one of our first practices of the season. And one of my teammates comes up to me, and I will forever love her for letting me know before somebody else did. And she's like, Kendall, this is gonna, like, why is there a video of you going around of you in the shower? And I'm like, what do you mean? I've never taken a video of myself in the shower. I was like 15 at the time. I just remember looking at her and my heart dropping and being like, what are you talking about? There's no way. It can't be me. This must be someone else. And she was like, no, Kendall, like, I'm 100% it was you. We were at my birthday dinner last night, and one of the boys that was sitting at the table with us airdropped it to the entire table at Chili's. This is where it all started. I didn't really know what to do at this point. I was petrified of my coach finding out, of my mom. I'm like flipping through every file in my head. I'm like, did I do that? But like, why would I do that? I was so fucking confused. Still being extremely confused. I didn't want to like lose my place on this team. I continued on with practice, went about my day until the next day at school. I remember sitting in class. It was a normal day. I was trying not to think about it too much because I was like, she has to have me confused with someone else. There's no way that it's me. That would be until every single person who had their airdrop on in the classroom got an airdrop except for me, and the entire class just turned around and just fucking stared at me, and I knew exactly what was going on. And I have never been so... I still sweat to this day talking about it. I remember not asking the teacher if I could go to the bathroom, anything. I just ran out of the room, ran to the bathroom, and I remember sitting on the bathroom floor just absolutely sobbing, and I'm pretty positive that I stayed there for the rest of the day on the bathroom floor. So I left school that day. It was at this point where I just started getting absolutely bombarded with texts from my friends, people that I wasn't really friends with, and I didn't know what to do because I had never seen this video. I didn't remember taking this video. I was convinced that there was just no way it was me. It had to be someone else. I truly don't think I've ever been so confused in a situation still to this day in my entire life. So the next day at school, I'm sitting at lunch and I didn't even want to be there. I was begging my mom not to make me go to school. She's like, why do you not want to go to school? Like, what's wrong with you? You have to go to cheer, like blah, blah, blah. And this video gets airdropped in the school cafeteria. And this is when things really, if you didn't think they were going downhill already, this is where it starts to go downhill. Again, I run out of the room and I go and I sit on the bathroom floor at my school and just sob for the rest of the day until cheer practice. And this is the day where I knew that it was just getting bad and that everything was kind of about to go to shit. And this was when my cheer coach pulled me aside at practice and was like, why am I having so many people come to me telling you that there's a video of you naked in the shower? Also, still at this point, I had still never seen this video. Nobody would show it to me. It was like people were being so mean about it that they just liked it, that they could see it and like hold it over my head and not have me see it. Like I had no idea still. I was still fucking confused. So at this point, I just absolutely break down to my cheer coach. I still love and talk to her to this day. And she sent me home, and at that point I was like, I think I need to tell my mom, because I honest to God don't ever remember taking this video. I like need to tell somebody what's going on, because this is like not okay. Another thing that I forgot to mention that happened to me is the day when I left the cafeteria and I was running to the bathroom, there was a boy who was a couple years older than me, and he had a bottle of water in his hand, and he threw water at me and asked if I needed to go take a shower. And like it was just so bad. And so when my mom came and picked me up, I had a mental breakdown, and she didn't let me like go to school for a few days until we figured out what was going on or like what to do. At this point, I did know who was spreading the video the most. It was it was like a guy I had like talked to in like literally the 8th grade, and then another one was a guy that I like was very involved with from the 8th grade, like really all throughout high school, because I'm that fucking stupid. I forgave him for all of this. Like I am so mentally ill, it hurts. So the only thing that my mom and I really knew to do at this point was to just go to the school and see if like the principal or someone on the board, like, and this, as you can imagine, is so mortifying to go to the board about this. But we hadn't seen the video. We didn't know if it was actually me or not in it. Like, we didn't know what to do. At this point, I just wanted to move like out of state. Like I was like, I want to switch schools. I was so fucking mortified and embarrassed without even seeing the video that you just wait. So my mom calls the principal, and surely enough, when she gets on the phone with him, he happens to tell her, oh my goodness, I was gonna call you at the end of the day today. I needed to talk to you about this. Like it had already made its way to him. Like everyone knew about this. I swear to God, everyone. He had another parent, I don't know who, send it to him, and so now I'm mortified that the principal has either seen my boobs or like some other girl's boobs that I don't fucking know. So we go in for a meeting at the school with the principal, some people from the board, like the superintendent, the lady at the front desk for some reason, the security guard that was like always outside the front door of our high school, my mom and I, like so many people in this fucking room. And keep in mind, I still had not seen this fucking video. So we're in this meeting and they start playing the video, and I immediately knew what was going on. Every single puzzle piece connected in my head in that moment, and I just broke down sobbing. So remember at the beginning of the video when I told you I had those 4 girlfriends, New Year's Eve, I took a shower at the end of the night? One of those weird ass bitches, what did I call her? Ella, I think? She decided to like stick her phone above the shower curtain and take a video of me showering, held on to that video for 7 or 8 months, and then one day on like a random fucking school day just decided to just blast it everywhere, send it to one of my ex-boyfriends. He's the one who like airdropped it at Chili's. Like everything made sense, and I have never been so angry and like felt so upset at like so many people in my life. Also, mind you, there was nothing that happened between me and Ella. We were fine. We were literally still friends whenever this video started going around. Oh shit, hang on. So I will forever think she is like one of the absolute weirdest people I've ever met in my entire life for this. So at this point, I had 2 options: either deal with it or I could press charges. But here was the gag about that. If I pressed charges on Ella, I had to press charges on my ex-boyfriend, the boyfriend that I had talked to in the 8th grade, everyone who airdropped it, everyone who was like, I was gonna have to press charges against like upwards of like 10 to 15-year-olds. Like I just didn't want to put people on a sex offender list at that early on in your life. Like I couldn't do it, so I didn't press charges. So that's pretty much all that happened. I just kind of decided to suck it up and leave it alone. After I understood what the video was and what was happening, that was when I could, you know, go to people and be like, hey, like actually this is what happened. Like she's a fucking weirdo, and she ended up, I want to say either like moving like a lot of counties away or like moving out of state or something, but like the tables completely turned. But people still are weird about it to me, which is just bizarre. I unfortunately couldn't, you know, go to everyone who had seen that video because it was literally hundreds of people. And, you know, tell my side of the story and like, hey, like I didn't do that on purpose. Like I never knew that was taken, and I was also 15 in that video. So I shit you not, one of the last times I was home in Georgia, I was out at an Athens bar, and a guy who I did not even know, he apparently went to a surrounding high school of mine, came up to me and was like, yo, I remember that video of you in the shower, like when we were in high school. And I just looked at him and was like, you're a fucking weirdo, because I was 15 years old and I have never seen a man look so stunned, but like that, like what the fuck is wrong with you? And like what a weird conversation starter. Sorry, I know this video is kind of long, but I think my point with all this is if you've ever had something like this happen to you, know that it's not just you, it's not your fault, it's humiliating, but it's not really something to be humiliated about. It wasn't your fault. It's gonna be okay, I promise. I live a very happy, fulfilling life now. This does not haunt me anymore the way that it used to. You're gonna be okay. If you do like longer story times, I have a very unfortunate amount of stories, not maybe as bad as this, but things similar. If you want me to talk about them, high school is a shit show, and if you're in high school, I can be like your high school big sister or something, I don't know. Anyways, come back to part 2 for the dinner outfit. Love you.
Things my ex did, but I still stayed, part 2. He argued with me on Christmas because my present wasn't as expensive as his, even though I told him not to get me anything. Whenever I'd stay over at his house, he'd make me sleep on the couch because he didn't want to share a bed with me. He threatened to break up with me if I didn't stop eating unhealthy food. He forced me to quit dance, which is something I've been doing since I was a baby, to start going to the gym with him, only for him to then cancel my gym membership because he got angry at me. He would steal my jewelry and then sell it on Depop and Vinted. If I didn't cook us anything to eat or order us anything, we wouldn't eat at all because he would always refuse to buy anything or cook anything. In winter, he literally refuses to shower because apparently the rain will clean him. I caught him cheating on me, so I blocked him on literally everything, so he went onto Facebook to then harass my mom until I unblocked him. When we were watching TV together, he would point out the girls that he thought were cute and tell me that he would leave me for them. He would constantly, control what I wore. If I wore something too revealing, he'd tell me to cover up, but if I wore something that wasn't revealing enough, he'd tell me to show some more skin. It was just, weird as hell. He asked me to buy him dog food, and when I refused, he fed his dog a bar of soap and told me if I refused again, he would continue to do the same thing over and over and over again. And when the dog got sick and started to throw up because obviously it was being fed soap, he blamed it on me and told me I should have just bought the dog food and that I'm the worst person in the world. We were playing spin the bottle and he got told to kiss the prettiest girl in the room, so instead of kissing me, he kissed my best friend right in front of me. He would make fun of all of my family for literally no reason whatsoever. If I saw him and his friends in public, he would walk away from me and act like he didn't know me, even though his friends know who I am. That's it. Let me know if you guys want a part 3. Love you all. Bye.
The drama in my life right now isn't even mine. It's the shit I overhear in the school bathroom, and now I'm invested. Yesterday I was in there minding my business, doing my business, and these 2 girls come in, not to use the bathroom. What they were talking about was wild. Now, before I continue, I'm not judging. It's your life. You do you. It's just crazy to hear. Now, I know a decent amount of people in my grade and the grade below me. So, then these people I didn't recognize, so which means they were freshmen, or maybe sophomores, but probably freshmen. So this one girl's oh my god, I like your bracelet or something. She gave her a compliment and she was thanks, I got it yesterday. Oh, where'd you get it? And she was oh, I stole it. And I was oh, okay. Stealing is not that uncommon, so that wasn't the big shock. And then the other girl was oh, it's so cute. Do you think you could steal me one? The other girl was oh yeah, I can steal it after school. Isn't your birthday soon? It can be your birthday present. We can do it together. And I was oh my god, that's a really interesting way to bond. And then a third girl walks in and she's yo, not saying names, I got your shit. And then one of the girls walks away, and then the other 2 girls start making out. Again, you do you, pop your pussy in the school bathroom, but they were making out, and I'm sitting there it was, they start doing whatever they're doing, and I'm sitting there fuck, I can't leave the bathroom right now, that's weird. So they finish sucking face, and one of the girls is okay, I love you, bye. And she leaves the bathroom, and then another girl came in. I could tell because I was washing their shoes. Another girl came in and starts making out with the girl that was just making out with the other girl who just did the drug deal with the other girl. And they're macking on each other too. And then the new girl who just came in is talking about some oh, is your ex still bothering you? God, she's so annoying. And the girl's yeah, she was just in here stalking me, it was so weird. I was oh, you, what? So then I come out the bathroom because I've been in there for a really long time, and I'm I give her the smile, you know what I mean? And she was hi, and I was hi. And then I went back to class, and now every day I've been looking at everybody's shoes trying to figure out who the fuck these girls were. Love you, and I got jumped, so get ready with me to fight at school. So I literally got jumped at school this weekend, so I'm like, okay, when I come back to school on Monday, I'm going to get my look back. It's two important characters to the story. We're going to name them Rolly and Polly. Me and Rolly and Polly have the same first periods together, and that's kind of how we all know each other. So I usually sit in the front of the classroom, so I'm over here, you know, minding my business, and I hear from the back of me, look at that outfit. Who you talking to? Oh, I know if the shoe fit, don't wear it, but I had a whole pink outfit on. So I'm like, okay, like, I feel like you talk about me because I'm the brightest one in the room. Everybody is wearing, like... So I didn't respond to it at first, but then I started hearing laughing. So I'm like, okay. So I turn around. I'm like, what's so funny? Because, like, what's going on? Like, huh? Go out picking for a fight, but I feel like it just finds me. Only over here talk about something. Okay, and I always talk about you, now what? So, girl, I'm like, okay, you don't want to do that with me, girl. I got 99 jokes for you. So now we start roasting, and we start, like, you know, roasting each other back and forth, back and forth. So it gets to the point where I stand up. I'm like, okay, like, what's the problem? Like, what's for real? So everybody had to calm me down. They had to calm them down, too, because I don't know what they were on. They was jumping like some jumping jacks. So after the period ended, the teachers had to hold them back so they can talk to the teacher because I wasn't the one that was doing the most. They was supposed to talk about me first. So I'm like, okay, girl, like, what's really going on? So I'm walking to my second period class, and I'm one of the first people there, and the teacher's not even in the classroom, like, mind you. So it's just me in the back, you know, taking down all the chairs, blah, 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 blah. Now I'm like, okay, I feel my spidey senses tingling, like, I don't know. I just get kind of paranoid out of nowhere. When I get to my seat, I get to take my seat down. Girl, I hear, I'm like, girl, it's Rolly and Polly, like, storming at me, girl. Like, y'all, it's Dex right here, and she's, like, storming at me. So I pick up my chair that I didn't take down. I'm like, move. Boom. Girl, I threw it at him, girl. But I didn't hold it back because Polly came from around, girl. And just, it was a disaster. So they did what they did. And they hurried up and rushed out the room, girl, when I was on the ground. So I'm like, okay, this is crazy. So now I have to get my look back tomorrow. And you guys are going to see the full video. By the time you're watching this video, the YouTube video is already out. So go ahead and go watch the fight. And go ahead and go watch the tutorial time on it, too. Link in bio, YouTube channel, or